Welcome back to Nick Comic Corner Classic / Non-Classic. This is episode number 809 and Doubleshot number, I believe it's 803. No, it's Doubleshot number 703. Okay, two Star Wars trades. First up, it is Darth Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith, Volume 3, The Burning Seas. Collecting Darth Vader Volume 2, Issues 13, 18, and number 2. My theory, the reason why they said they call it number 2, because it technically has been in number 1. That was published back, I think it was 2016, I believe it was. Yeah, basically about 2 years ago. And mostly put the Burning Seas storyline, that takes up the first few issues of this trade. Yeah, a good majority of this, it's all about this storyline. And yes, the cover is a clear homage to Apocalypse Now. In case you're wondering, yes, Vader does go in the water in this storyline. Yeah, where does he go? Him and his group, the Inquisitors. Yeah, those who are familiar with the Inquisitors, they were the Sith Lords that they were the Sith-like characters that show up on Star Wars Rebels. This was the series that had their first chronological appearance. Yeah, they were introduced around like issue 7, I think it was. Yeah, they were introduced roughly, I think it was late last year they introduced them. And they're in here. The Grand Inquisitor is nowhere to be seen in this storyline. It's some of his other Inquisitors. Vader goes to a planet which is covered by water. Those of you curious though, what famous Star Wars character is from this planet? It's called, I think it's called Mon Kanan, I think it's called. Yeah, it's the home planet of Admiral Akbar. No joke, he goes to Admiral Akbar's home planet. As a matter of fact, he meets Admiral Akbar. Also, I've got to point this out though. First of two. Both these trades have one thing in common. Tarkin shows up in these trades. Yep. Grand Moff Tarkin shows up in here. They also reference in here the events of Rogue One that happens in the end. But yeah, that's when Vader finds out about the Death Star for the first time. Also, yeah, this is the cover, also one of the trades as well. One of the issues. Yeah, it's a clear... the cover itself is a clear homage. Very similar scene from Empire Strikes Back where Vader does the same thing, except you don't see the guy's face. You see him from the back, but yeah, it's a very similar scene. And you also get a chance to see the storyline, like you can see through Vader's eyes in here. And the way that they draw him, it seems like the way he moves around. It seems like the way Shaw writes Vader. He doesn't write Vader how he's very slow moving like he is in the movies. Here, he's basically how he probably should be depicted, where he can move pretty briskly, and his cape can move around as well, which is something that they never actually show in the movie as well. I mean, he clearly wears a cape as part of his attire, but it never moves. It never flaps in the wind. Not really, no. The only time I can think of it may have done that was Empire Strikes Back. That was really it. I couldn't think of any other time where his cape actually flows freely like the way it does. There's even an issue where he challenges Tarkin to kill him. It was a pretty easy little duel. Yep. The annual, believe it or not, is a tie-in to Rogue One. No joke, it seriously is. Because the issue itself takes place even before Cataclysm. Yeah, I think it takes place roughly before the end of Cataclysm. Yeah, Vader is on Scarif, the planet that was actually seen in Rogue One, and he finds out about Project Stardust, a.k.a. he finds out about the project that built Death Star. As a matter of fact, it's even referenced in another book where, yeah, that's how loosely these two trades are connected because of Death Star. And now Vader himself has no problem with Death Star in theory. It's just his power source he didn't like very much. He found out that the kyber crystals he found out that they use kyber crystals in here. They even brought in Orson Krennic. Yeah, a character who only appeared... the only time this character has appeared outside of Rogue One, he appeared in Cataclysm, and he appeared in this annual. And that's it. Those of you curious, did you remember Rising? Kind of did. Mostly at the start of the book, but he's never seen it again. But yeah, this is like, he also appeared in the adaptation of Rogue One. And that's it for Krennic. He never really appeared much anyplace else, but this annual takes place roughly, I would say just after Empire Strikes Back. Probably takes place around the beginning of Cataclysm. Yeah. The annual itself was really good, and basically Vader is tasked by the Emperor to find out what's causing delays in the construction of the Death Star. Yeah, they actually showed Death Star in here, and it's basically put under construction at Geonosis. Yep. In the original timeline, it was mentioned it was built in a secret location. I don't remember where it was built in the original expanded universe. If anybody can tell me, I highly doubt it was Geonosis. Yeah, that's the way that the current canon is going right now, where it was the Geonosians who built the Death Star, and they also mentioned basically that the Death Star is not ready yet because of delays with the weapon part of it. And when you see the Death Star, it's clearly close to being finished. Let me show you it. Yeah, it's now they do show a blueprint of what it's supposed to look like, and that's generally what it looked like in New Hope. But in here, the Death Star looks like this. Yeah, this is the appearance of what the Death Star looks like while it's under construction. It looks pretty much, I would say, about 70% done. Yeah, mostly. Anybody can easily tell it's not exactly done yet, but yeah. The issues here really good. I forgot to mention, Scholl writes this. Yep, Charles Scholl writes the issues, but he doesn't write the annual, surprisingly. No, that's done by Chuck Wendig. Yeah, that's a little surprise. With Leonard Kirk on the artwork, the issues themselves are done by Kostapika Malagali, who also does the cover art along with Elia Bonnet. The cover art for the annual is done by Mike Diedau Jr. and Parinto. This book is fantastic. This book a 9.5 out of 10. Next one is another one of these adaptations, but it's not an adaptation of a movie. Nope. I would say right now of the new Star Wars films, every single one has been adapted for comic book. As a matter of fact, the Han Solo film is going to be released really soon. I don't remember who's writing it, but yeah, this particular writer who wrote this one also wrote the Rogue One adaptation and made additions to it. This one is Thrawn. Yep, the adaptation of the critically acclaimed novel written by Timothy Zahn. The adaptation is written by Jodie Huster. This is by far her second Star Wars miniseries she's actually done. Though this is one of a few comics she's done for Marvel. She's also done, of course, like I said, Rogue One. And she's also done, she just wrapped up her run for Amazing Spider-Man New Year Vows. This was a 6-issue limited series published, I think it was like last year. This was very recent. Yeah, those of you curious though exactly who did the artwork in here, it's Luke Ross. Yep, the artwork in here is done by Paul Rened. Yep. And mostly when it comes to adapting from the novel itself. Oh, before I continue, this is not the first Thrawn novel to be adapted. Dark Horse also adapted the original Thrawn trilogy into comic books. Yeah, so Marvel is not the first person to do this, where they adapt a Star Wars novel into a miniseries. I read the one based upon the second book. It's been a while since I read it. I think it was a 4-issue miniseries. This was a good 6-issue one. Mostly, from what I can tell, they kept pretty much most everything intact for the novel. They made one minor change I could think of, and that was a scene between when they had Thrawn meet the Emperor for the first time. Jodie Huster kind of altered the scene a bit, where Thrawn just asked simply, and when he's asked his name, he says his name is Thrawn. And later on, Emperor says, "What's your real name?" Madaru. And of course, also referencing here about him meeting Anakin Skywalker. That's kept in here. They even throw in some tie-ins. This book is also a loose tie-in to, of all things, Star Wars Rebels. Yes, Amanda Price, who's actually I haven't got to the season yet, but this probably takes place just before Thrawn's appearance on Star Wars Rebels, because they reference the events of Rebels. As a matter of fact, the cast of Rebels pops up here. Don't in silhouette, but yeah, you can tell easily it's them. Yeah, the main 5 characters, yep, they all show up in here. In silhouette, of course. And, like I said before, Tarkin and the Death Star are the connecting threads in here. And those of you curious, though, now, the Thrawn's aide, who's actually his aide throughout the whole original novel, he's in here as well. And pretty much the same thing happens in the novel. He joins up with Thrawn's people, and that's the last season. He doesn't even appear in the current novel, which is a bit of a surprise. And the person he meets up with looks, I'm not sure exactly all the Chase people look exactly like Thrawn, but it's gonna put a female version of Thrawn, basically just by appearance-wise. Yeah, I gotta say, fantastic miniseries. I even love the artwork in here. Reading this, and there's tons of dialogue to the read, and try to be sure you don't miss a single bit of artwork. Yeah, this artwork in here is so good. This artist should receive an award, Luke Ross, for how good the artwork in here. Jodie Husser's writing here, even though a lot of our stuff he writes in here is basically stuff written by Timothy Donzon himself. This is just an adaptation, but she does a really good job of adapting the novel to this comic book. I wouldn't be surprised if Thrawn Alliances gets adapted to a comic book. I'm reading it right now. I'm only about 6 chapters in, and it's really, really good. Yep. This miniseries is fantastic. I'm going to give this book roughly a 10 out of 10. It is just so good. So good of a miniseries. The story for the miniseries is pretty much the same as a novel. Just an origin story for Thrawn. It's the post. It's the Disney. It's the new canon origin story, and I gotta praise it being really, really good, and high praise for I think it's Lucas Books who publishes the Star Wars books for bringing back Timothy Zahn to do the original novel. 10 out of 10 for that one. Yep. And also gotta praise how the artist draws Thrawn before he joins the military. Yeah, this is kind of how I pictured Thrawn before he became what he is, because I highlighted how he was like very heavily groomed, like he normally is. And it's not until the end of the miniseries you see him in that white uniform he's known for being pictured in. Yeah. Here he's basically starts out with a gray uniform, and once he becomes Grand Admiral at the end of the miniseries, he actually wears a white uniform. Also, I should point out, though, is mentioned in the novel now in the original EU, Thrawn being Grand Admiral, that was kept a secret. Here it's publicly known that he's Grand Admiral. Yeah, they actually changed that status for him because, I'm not sure because of the xenophobic tendencies of the Empire that they kept him a secret. But in the current continuity, he is not a secret at all. Though this particular miniseries and the novel takes place before his actual appearance on Star Wars Rebels. Takes place roughly, I would say, not long before that. Probably takes place between seasons 2 and 3. Because now he pops up for season 3. I don't remember who voices him, but when I saw what he looked like, I'm like, yeah, they did a fantastic job. Fantastic recreating Grand Admiral Thrawn. Otherwise, that's really it for this episode. Stay tuned whenever I get a chance to another one. I don't have more trades to review. All I have is manga books. The only thing else in the library I could probably review is probably my Thrawn Allegiances novel, which I'm currently reading right now. But I expect a few more videos today, which is basically the next thing I'm going to do is My Hero Academia. And I'm hoping to review also Hathor X Hunter, Seven Deadly Sins, Boruto, and hopefully some Kintama, I'd say. But not the actual series. This is just spin-off stuff, okay? But until I see you next review, bye.